Welcome back in. Well, have you ever thought about what you may be exposed to in the air, especially around Lake Erie? That's something researchers at the University of Toledo are looking into, and you might be able to help. Dr. Stephen Holler and Dr. David Kennedy are both associate professors in the College of Medicine and Life Sciences, and they're here so we can learn a little bit more about the work that you all are doing and how the community can get involved in that effort. Thanks for being here today.
Thank you for having us, Amanda.
Absolutely. This is super interesting, and I think especially when we had our water crisis, which was 11 years ago almost at this time. Is that when you all started to work on this project?
Yep. Yeah. That was the beginning of of when we started to really start to ask those questions, because the community wanted to know what's happening to the water. It impacted so many things. People didn't have water, but you think about all the other systems. Hospital systems were affected, restaurants, all those things. Yeah. So we really wanted to provide the answers to the community, and so the University of Toledo has really been trying to lead in this area.
We're going to talk a little bit about the gadgets that you brought here in just a moment. But what you're asking for is for people who live by the lake to help you out with some of your research. You need some data.
Yeah, absolutely. So we have the first ever Great Lakes aerosol monitoring research study, where we're looking to enroll people that live, work, and recreate around Lucas, Ottawa, and Sandusky County. Okay. And we're going to evaluate just some basic lung function, this is just an example of one of the machines we use here, where you just blow into it and it gives you a basic reading of lung information. We also have just some general surveys as part of the study. Just ask things like, how long were you out by the water? What did you do that day? How did you feel? And importantly, we're monitoring people before the harmful algal bloom season and after the harmful algal bloom season. So this will be the first study to see if breathing in potentially harmful toxins actually has any effect on lung function. And we will also have biological samples, so blood samples and urine samples that we can then use to develop diagnostic tests, which is really important, because we at the University of Toledo want to be known for coming up with a solution and not just identifying the problem. So we'll be able to use these samples to develop tests.
Interesting. Yeah, so you collect all this data and then you go back to the lab and you figure that out.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, so that's one of the things. So we understand what happens to people's lungs who live, work, and recreate around the lake. But we also want to say, what is because we know obviously there's lots of things in the air. Why is this important? You think, the average human drinks 2 liters of water a day. You breathe 11,000 liters a day, so about 5,000 times more. So what we're exposed to by what we breathe is really important and impacts our health. How do you know? What is the component that might be causing you to cough or causing a certain symptom? So this is one of the units that we use to collect air samples. So it's a little pump. It brings the air in through here and puts it into different compartments so that we can then take that back to the lab and analyze what is in it. One of the other things that we do, it's really novel with the study, is we collect cells from people, lung cells, and then we can grow those up in the lab, just like they would behave in a normal human lung. They're really interesting. You can see their cilia beating. You can see how they behave, and then we can take what we've collected and expose those cells all within the lab to the different components of the atmosphere and see how they behave and see if something might be causing inflammation or something might be causing any sort of trouble in the lung.
Interesting. So you're using something, what is it called, a glamper? We're not going camping or glamping, right?
This is glam. So I have to give credit to my daughter. We needed a creative name for this. So this is, the larger version of this is we call it the Great Lakes Atmospheric Monitoring and Protection Environmental Research Unit, the GLAMPR. So that is our mobile lab on wheels. It's a really neat, it's the only one in the world. So I think one of the cool things about this is, from the community's perspective, we're enrolling people from the community to be involved in this. From the university perspective too, medical students, graduate students, undergraduate students have a world-class opportunity to be involved in these studies. They get to, use absolutely state-of-the-art equipment, and they're taking, a problem that the community experiences, but this occurs all over the world.
Sure.
So, so the things that they're doing, aren't just relevant to our community here in Northwest Ohio. They're applicable across the globe. So our medical students, our undergraduate students are really engaged in this, and I think it's one of the most, interesting and compelling things
Yeah.
that they can do.
You could take the lead on this. So we could talk about this forever because it's super interesting, but we're running out of time. So we want to tell people how they can get involved in this. So we have a website up there. So jot that down. You live near the water. You are eligible for this. You need to be over 10 years old. But you will have some locations that people can come to and kind of make it more convenient for them, right?
Yes, absolutely. So we have a mobile health unit that we can take to different areas like Port Clinton just to make it easier for folks so they don't have to come all the way to the University of Toledo
Nice.
Medical Center, so we can get out in the community.
So if you are interested, you're in that category, said, yeah, I want to be part of the solution. I want to be part of this research. Please jot down that address right now and get yourself signed up, because you're going to be doing this soon here with the start of algal bloom season
Absolutely,
coming up here in a month or something like that.
Absolutely, yeah. We are actively enrolling right now.
Very good, gentlemen. Thanks for being here today.
Amanda,
Appreciate
thanks
it.
for having
Thank you.
us.
Thank
So
you.
interesting. Can't wait to see what you guys find out. Yeah.